right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Neverland Podcast today. This was technically supposed to be an episode that came out last week, but I accidentally deleted the footage. So we're back with it.
So blame Nene. Yeah, blame Nene real quick.
We guys still got a lit ass episode.
This man deleted a file, dude.
What?
Dude, he deleted everything real quick.
Man, I deleted the video. I don't even know how it happened. But anyway, we're back with it. Nitesh or I guess this is technically your first time now.
Yeah.
It would be, or I guess technically it's the second time.
But
so it's the first. But yeah, man, Nitesh is on. And we're talking some shit.
Yeah. Like first of all, like I would kind of like want to like thank you guys for like letting me be part of this like podcast. Yeah. And this is actually my second podcast, but first.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a warm up. We had to warm up. That's what it was. It was the practice drill of what we lit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys been
religious?
Yeah. No. Keep on going.
No, I was just saying
you got anything to plug? You want to plug anything?
Oh yeah, dude.
I need to plug something. Oh yeah, dude. Like, I probably would like start my own like YouTube channel, and I'll be like talking like about soccer and stuff. And whoever's like watching this video, I kind of want to like tell them like just head over to my channel and just like hit that like button and like subscribe to my channel real quick.
True.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's that. And yeah. And what
bio. LinkedIn bio.
LinkedIn. All
right. What do you guys want to start with? Oh, dude, I was texting Paris. I was like, "Did you listen to that Gunna, Nav, and who was Don Toliver?
Lemonade? Yeah.
That shit was fire.
It was pretty good.
Wait,
fire.
What's going on? What's up with that?
Called Lemonade.
Oh, true. Oh, dude, I saw that on the news. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was fire. I want to talk about
internet money, bitch.
What up?
Internet money, bitch.
Yeah, dude. Internet money. Shout out Cole Bennett. Shy. Some Chicago shit. But yeah, dude, legit, that like trio is so perfect. Like because like Nav, usually I'm not like the biggest. Is it Nav or Nav? I call him Nav.
Dude, his name is Navraj.
Yeah, it's like his real name is like Navraj.
I'll go with Nav. I would go with Nav.
I'm a big supporter of Nav, dude. He's like literally the only brown rapper, dude.
Yeah, no, see, I don't really listen to Nav like that, just because.
Hey, Nav's my guy, dude.
Across, like,
he's my guy, dude.
Like, I mean, I'll listen to it if he's like on a feature, or like there's like he just has like a fire song out. I'll probably listen to it if like Pars is playing or something. But I don't usually go out of my way to listen to it. But this song was fire though. I messed with it. Obviously, Don Toliver, fire. Gunna, fire. But then even Nav surprised me by how good he was. I was like, oh yeah, no, this is legit.
He always fired, dude.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, like the beat was perfect for him. It's just like the way they flowed on top of that. On top of the beat, holy fuck. But it was legit.
Oh, thanks for blowing out our ear, dude.
Fuck. Such a little bitch.
My ears don't work anymore, dude.
Oh, dang, dude. That's crazy.
What? Wait, what happened?
He just dropped his mic.
He just dropped his mic. Notice, dude. That's fucking sensitive ass ears. This is such a. Do we actually want to talk about the topic we talked about last week?
Yeah, Nitesh wanted to talk about it.
I mean, if we're like redoing it, like why not talk about it again, right?
The whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Exactly.
I'm with it. So to kind of fill you guys in, the episode that was supposed to come out, we're discussing like fake gurus and kind of like scam artists and shit like that. So I guess we'll just like basically have the conversation again. We'll probably have different points to make, so it'll probably be original as is. So yeah, who wants to start it off?
Hey, need to start by what you saw today.
Oh, dude, I was like, okay, so this is what happened. Okay, like I was just like, I was not trying to do like research or anything on this, and then like my mom, she was like watching like a debate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, let me see what's going on, right? And then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, and then like this was a debate about like one of the fake gurus in like India, And then what happened was like, so this happened like approximately like around like 6 months ago. And then what happened was like this fake guru, like he like it's like a self-proclaimed guru, right? So like um he said that he could like solve like people's like life problems and whatnot. And then like he and then like everyone would legit was just like donating money and like following like whatever he says. And like it turns out that this guy would like like under the hood like be like abducting like people and then just like selling them off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
And
god!
then
What?
yeah, and that I know, dude. It was like weird as hell. And I'm like, okay, let me keep watching this debate more, right? So like I actually like sat like in front of the TV and I was like watching this debate, and then so there was this like guy, like I think he was like in his like 60s, like kind of like an old person, right? And then he was like saying, okay, so I had two daughters, and like both of my daughters got abducted by this guru.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, and then like, and then, so I was just watching, and what happened was, um, uh, this happened to be like a debate show, right? So like people pick like two sides and then they just debate about it, right? But then what I don't understand is like how are like these people like on the other side debating this like like this guy on like who's like 60 years old. He's like literally like about to cry, saying that okay, my daughters like both my daughters, right? Who are like one of them is like 17 and the other one was like 15. They both got abducted by this guru, right? And he hasn't like met them or like heard back from them like from them like since November or something. And he's like literally about to cry on like this news channel, and like people are trying to debate this guy. Like, how does that even make sense? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, dude, like why are you debating this guy? Like his daughter's got abducted. Just let him say whatever he's got to say.
Legit.
No, that's like, was it like people that were like kind of devoted to him, or was it just like random people just debating just cause?
No, I think those are like more like the intellectual types. They usually get like invited to these like debates.
Yeah, but they're
And
still
then
doing
one
the
guy,
case for him.
yeah, and then this one guy was just saying like it's not being proven by the law. You can't just say that your daughters are being abducted. I'm like, dude, what are you saying? You know?
Dude, that's crazy, man.
Dude, that's so effed up.
Oh, is he still just like roaming the streets, just chilling?
No, dude. So this is what happened. So I kept listening to this entire debate, right? Not entire, but like most of it. And what happened was like, so this guy used to be like, I mean, he still like claims himself as a guru, but and then like, so he started like preaching and like he was like saying people that he can like solve like people's problem, like general like life problems and whatnot. So like people regarded him like started regarding him as like uh, a version of a god or something. So like he had like a lot of followers, right? And then under the hood, this man's just like abducting like teenager and kids and like just abducting them, right? And then like probably like selling them to like some like random people in like
some
different
kind
countries.
Of trafficking, yeah,
yeah, trafficking kind of shit, right? So then people knew. So eventually, like people found out about it, and they were trying to like file like a case against him and like press like charges on him. So when he knew that people were like going after him, he was able to like fled India, right? So he's not in India anymore. So like he's gone. And um I kept watching the debate, and they were saying that he was able to like leave the country because he had like legit like political connection with like people high up in like in politics. So he's getting help from like people up top. And why he like fled India, like he was able to like abduct like 15 to like 20 like teenagers like with him in an airplane, right?
Shit.
And
oh my
this,
god,
yeah,
Epstein ass shit, dude. He's straight
and
up
then
just some Epstein ass shit.
I know, and then this guy, like the dad who was like crying, he was saying like he heard from like one of his like daughter like few months ago, and it was like a really short video that's recorded, and in the background there were like other kids, like other teenagers. He was literally saying like, hey, uh we've been like abducted. I believe that we are somewhere in like a Central American country, so like somewhere in like El Salvador, Ecuador, like around that area, right? So we believe we were somewhere in here, and we don't know what's gonna happen with us, and we're like, and there were like other people, like little kids, like teenagers, like with her, and she also said that and she also said that my sister, she's also been abducted like by this guru, but I have not met them for like months. I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's been taken to like different country, or like I don't know where she is, but we've both been abducted. Like, and I was like shocked. I'm like, this sounds like a movie, but this is like happening in real life.
Dude, wait. So what is this guru's name?
I forgot. I got to Google it. He's got like a long like Indian name.
Wait, Google it real quick. I want to see if it's the same guru that I was talking about.
Here, let me see. I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Yo, this is crazy.
Dude, this is weird as hell.
Dude, what?
That's some straight up like, because like Epstein is like basically that. Like,
yeah, dude.
Legit,
maybe he was related to Epstein, dude.
Yeah, it's like the same like.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same trade.
Yeah. Dude, that's fucked up.
Honestly, dude. Honestly, from what we understand, that shit is so much bigger than Epstein.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, dude. His name is Nityananda. His name is NithyA.
Dude, that's the guy I was talking about. Dude, that's legit the guy I was talking about. Dude, this guy bought an island. Dude, he has his own island. Nityananda has his own island now. That was the guy who said he delayed the sunrise. Remember? That's the exact story that I was saying. Yo. So for our listeners that don't know what the F we're saying, so what I was telling them is I was watching CoffeeZilla, and he all he does is talk about fake gurus. So he went into Indian gurus.
Shit.
And so like apparently this guy Nityananda, he like one day he like woke up like at like 6 a.m. or some shit, right? And he's just like, yo, the sunrise tomorrow said 8:15, but I was like, nah, the sun's not rising 8:15 tomorrow. It's gonna rise 8:30. And then he basically just told everyone in his audience that. And then he's just like, yeah. And then now you can look at what the sunrise was, and it was 8:30 that day. That's what's up.
Some goofy ass.
Dude, the thing is like, I don't understand like how people believe like whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? They literally believe that these people are like an incarnation or like some form of like God. You know what I'm saying? Like how do you believe that? Like
that's the thing. It's like Hinduism has such this like this ability to be like I'm just the reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? So that's such a BS excuse to be like, yo, I'm the reincarnation of literally anyone. Like, no one's claimed this God yet. Oh, I'm the reincarnation of that God, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, like, what the F? Get the F out of here real quick. How do we know that? It's like
dude,
such unverifiable information, you know?
Yeah, also, and then like what else talking about like whenever we last talked, it's legit religion's such a touchy subject that if you fully believe in something, you're gonna believe it all the way. So it's like when someone's like, oh yeah, I'm the reincarnation of blah blah, you're gonna be like, oh, like there's no reason for you to doubt him if he did something for you, right? And then like we were even talking about how like maybe there's like a neighbor or someone who starts following them, and then eventually everyone's like, hey, let's hop on this dude. Like he's the shit. Like he did this for this guy. I know this guy personally. So I'm gonna start following him, and hopefully he does something for me too. Like if he somehow landed a job or something right after talking to him, then let me support him, and hopefully I get a job or like I get rich or some shit. Because at the end of the day, I think it's like you have one person believe that he did something good for you, even though it's like purely coincidental. You're gonna be like, oh nah, I totally believe in him because he did that one thing that just happened to happen, which was probably gonna end up happening either way. But you just happened to meet him, so now he's like the reincarnation of God, real quick. And that's just some goofy ass shit. I mean, it's goofy to us, but I guess if you're that desperate, it's you'll take literally whatever.
Yeah.
And like also like most of these like gurus, like what I like notice is like they somehow they end up having like legit like connection like with people up top, and then they literally like can like abuse like powers and stuff and do do stuff, manipulate, and like do whatever the heck like they want. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like it's cult-like, but then it's also like you're like a dictator of like a really small country, essentially. Because it's like you have all these people who listen to legit every single word you say. You're literally their god. Like you can literally control all these people. So now it's like you get a little bit of power. You start making a little bit of connections, and before you know it, you can legit do whatever, like this guy did. Like, and then obviously there's probably some people. I don't know how many you actually use it for good, but I'm pretty sure most people probably just do messed up ish with it.
And then like most of it, like all they do is like they pull some like magic tricks. That's it. All they know is like they pull out some like random like at best, right? They just like I don't know, you know like those like magicians, like the legit ones, like they create something like out of nothing, like I don't know, like random ones.
Yeah, they're just magicians.
That's literally like what they do in front of people, and like they're like, oh, they're God, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fucking David Blaine type shit.
Yo, legit.
And they start like believing them like blindly. I'm like, dude, like,
it's crazy. It's like what Nana was saying earlier. Like what happens is like this group mentality of like, oh, like I talked to this guy, and then like a week after, like my dad got better from like cancer or some ish, right? And then what they'll attribute that is to this fake guru. And then now you have like an undying follower, like one undying, right? So say you talk to enough people, right? You talk to 1 million people. Out of that 1,000,000 people, say even 100 people, shit goes right for them. What they'll attribute that is to this guru. And then what they do is now they're 100% followers, right? So now what you have is this team of people who are like they'll die for you, right? Because they believe 100% that you caused their success or you caused their health to get better or whatever, right? And so now these people will talk for you. You don't even need to say anything. These people will like fight for you and like advertise for you real quick out of that, you know? And it's like, dude, that's so effed up because now you're playing to like, you know, like you're playing with their mind basically. You're being like, hey, like that whatever good happens to you, it came from me. Like it didn't even come from God, dude. Like they don't even believe in God. They only believe in this guru, dude. That's it.
Yeah, it's like somehow he's like channeling his powers to give you good.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, and it's like that. How do you? And they also claim that kind of stuff too. It's like, oh, if you come to me, like I'll cure your cancer and shit like that. And if it happens if it happens for freaking 5 people, now those are 5 examples that he's gonna keep using. You know what I'm saying?
Also, it's like if like say their parent whatever ends up actually dying from cancer, you could always pull the like, oh, he was just meant to go, God wanted. Or like some
it's no, not even that, dude. They'll be like, hey, your faith wasn't strong enough, dude. That's what they'll say.
True.
That's what they'll pull, dude. They'll be like, hey, you didn't donate enough. You didn't donate enough, and you weren't like you didn't believe hard enough. And then they'll blame it on you, basically. It won't be any blame on them. It'll be like they'll blame it on you, legit.
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, nah, you.
Yeah, you don't have enough faith, dude.
Yeah,
you should have had 100% faith in me. And then imagine what happens to them now. Now you had like some kind of tragedy, and then this person's saying like, "Oh, it's your fault. You didn't believe hard enough." Then now they're dragged in even more, dude. They'll give their life savings now, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, that's effed up. That's legit. Like that's mind control. Essentially, you're literally controlling all these people. Oh, that's so fucked. That's so fucked.
Dude, that's why this dude, like, imagine doing that with like teenagers and young children. They're so much easier to play with their mind, dude. Like, say like their parents don't give them attention at home, whatever, blah blah. You can easily fool them, being like, hey, like your parents believe in me, so you guys believe in me. Like it's so easy to fool, dude. It's so effed up, dude.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's and then like it's like what I said like last time on that video, right? It's like these gurus, like the fake ones, like they know how to like target like their victims, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then like the way they start is like they use like people's like like they I don't know how to put it, like they make like a list of like
almost insecurities in a way.
Yeah, like the general problems that most of the people are gonna face like in their life, right?
Yeah.
And like money problems, or like if you have like fight with your like parents, or like I don't know, if you fight with your spouse and what, like, I don't know, whatnot, right? Like normal like problems that people, like most of the problem like people are gonna face in their life, right? And they use those problems at like to their advantage, you know?
Yeah.
And then like people believe them, and people who believe them, they're most like I said before, right? Like they're like people who are more logical, and people who are more emotional, right? And people who are more emotional, they believe in them like really quickly. And they're like, oh yeah, so if I follow this guy and follow whatever like he says and do whatever he says, I think like like my problems are gonna like get solved.
Yeah.
And then they just like get in, and they just get trapped. But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, they don't realize that these fake gurus are like being like promoted, and like they're getting bigger because of like people like them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because of the people. Like, I can't, I don't want to blame everything like 100% on these fake gurus, because like I also want to like put some blame onto these people who are like blindly following this. Like, hey, like you were just like being emotional right now. Like use like some like logical person, like logical like portion like of you to like actually like make that decision. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, like we could even segue this into like people who try to sell like courses and shit.
Oh yeah.
How to get rich? It's like it comes down to desperation. Like, I mean, I think if you're desperate enough, you'll legit at a certain point you'll be like, all right, yeah, no, I'll do anything just to get rich, or I'll do anything just to get healthy. So it's like even like segueing onto like Instagram and like fake gurus on, or not, I guess fake gurus on there too. It's like all the courses on like how to like start trading, or like how to start doing real estate shit, or do like drop shipping. Drop shipping's huge now. Like how to do
pretty much like how to make money kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like how to make money in a week. Like that's essentially it's like how can I put in the most minimum amount of effort but then make the most money out of it, which is not a real thing. Like did nothing like that ever exist. But it's like you kind of be like, oh yeah, nah. Like Ty Lopez we were talking about last time. Like, oh, you see Lamborghini, you see this fucking mansion. I did it all because of books. Like I read, and that's why I have a Lamborghini. There's no work, no effort, just books. So it's like when it comes to that, like you literally just rent a nice ass car, rent a mansion, and have like 6 videos, and be like, hey, I'm living this dream life, and then I could teach you how to do it, even though they really don't have that money.
Dude, yeah, it sets up a false perception. Like, that's what like one of these guys I follow, he was given this example. He's like, don't believe these, like, so for like he was just giving the example for like rappers. He's like, don't believe these rappers' lifestyles because they're not actually just hanging out doing drugs and hanging out with women and driving nice cars all day. What they're actually doing is they're sitting in the studio all day grinding. You know what I'm saying? And you don't see that, dude. All you see is the music video of them like with a bunch of hoes at a swimming pool, like, you know what I'm saying? Like drinking lean, right? Like that's all you see. But in the reality of it is they're grinding, right?
Yeah.
But what these fake gurus are playing at is they're like, hey, like here's the lifestyle, and you literally have to do nothing to get here. And they're just emphasizing that, you know, like, hey, do literally nothing and you'll get like this lifestyle. It's like,
it's legit just
actually make sense, dude.
Yeah, it's literally just like buy my course for $300 or whatever. And
dude, and then like these like fake ones like who claim to like help people like with money and like with like financial stuff. It's just like what they do is like in the like I think I said this like in the last video also, like to begin with, in the beginning, like they have no money, right? But then like they make you believe, right, that hey, like do whatever I say, follow me, so that you can make money. It's like literally like they're using you to like make money, which they don't have. Like they have no money, but they're using you to like make money by telling you how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's like going back to like even rap. When you look at someone like 6ix9ine, when he's like, I was talking about this last time too. It's like the video of him being in Brooklyn, more recently him being in LA. It's like he's like talking all this shit like, oh yeah, I'm like, I run this shit, like I'm free to do whatever I want. But then there was like another video, someone caught it on camera of him like with like a bunch of security and shit. Like that's what it is. Like it's just like a facade that you put on that, oh yeah, I'm this big tough guy, when like in reality everyone knows that like there's no way you're going anywhere without security. So it's like,
yeah, dude, that was back to that example I think we gave before. That one dude, that one fake guru, he was like selling, he was like, hey, I'm not a fake guru, like I'm doing Shopify stores, right?
So good.
And so this mofo, he had like 3 businesses, they all failed, and they all got reported to like the Better Business Bureau, right?
Yeah.
Like, to the FBI, like for fraud, real quick. And like he created the course or whatever, right? And apparently they had like one success where this dude made like $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
And then they're surprised. They're like fucking like, oh my god, this actually worked. This didn't even work for us. How did this guy make it work? Real quick.
Dude, legit so stupid.
And then they're like, hey, we should copy his website. And I was like, dude, like they're so low. They're so low that they don't even have faith that their own program works, and they just create a fake ass program, right?
Yeah.
And 2, they're low enough to, if it does work, they'll steal your idea. Like
exactly.
How low is that, dude? Like they're just really taking your money, dude.
Yeah, no, not even that. Like I feel like a lot of it is literally just copy and pasted from like YouTube. Yeah. Like you could YouTube a bunch of this shit and find it. I'm pretty sure you could even pirate like actual full like whatever the seminars or whatever. I guess classes or like whatever you want to call them, right? I'm pretty sure you could pirate that shit, and it's like I'm pretty sure all they do is just copy and paste, and like try to play off like, oh yeah, nah, this is my original idea, like I did it all by myself, blah blah. But yeah, man. Also with rappers, I feel like the only rapper who's not talking that shit is Drake, dude. Drake and Hov. Because Drake and dude, I sent that picture. This is complete tangent, but in that Laugh Now, Cry Later video, those 2 cars are like unreleased Maybachs that like Mercedes hasn't even released yet. His 2 motherfuckers like, bro, Drake different. Drake is actually different. But yeah, even Hov, I'm sure Jay-Z and Diddy, like all like the billionaires, I'm sure they have some ridiculous ass shit. But yeah, no, with fake gurus though, yeah, that's again desperation, man. That's how they make money. Make money off weakness, which is like the most fucked up way to probably make money.
They prey on the worst people too. They prey on like the poor people, man.
That's what that's what I was saying.
Dude, how effed up is that, dude? Like you're preying on the people who are most susceptible to like, dude, they don't have money to start with, and you're just trying to take that money too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's effed up.
Yeah. It's like it's like
morally so wrong. Like their whole business model. It's just it's completely fucked up. Yeah, like I think even last time we were talking about how it's like you have Paris, you were talking about it. Like one dude had that one class where it's like 3 sections of it. First class is an introduction, then you have to pay a bit more to get into the next level, pay a bit more to get in the next level, and it's like you get sucked into the stages. And then
then soon you're just out of money at that point, and then you can't do anything. You can't sue them because they'll wreck you.
Yeah,
in the lawsuit, they'll drag out the lawsuit, and you'll run out of money. Right.
Also, there's like terms of agreements, so they could legit
that you can't sue them. Yeah, it's like if this doesn't work, that means you just suck. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like that's their excuse. That's their excuse. It's like, oh, you didn't learn my information properly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I taught a class. It's like a teacher, you know. It's like, I have no liability on how well you do.
Exactly.
You know? It's like, that makes no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. And in a way, it's almost like college. It's like if you dude, this is a fire correlation. But in school, if it's like if you don't get a job right away, you can't sue the school. They'd be like, "No, fuck you. You're just stupid." Or like,
it's your own fault.
Yeah,
dude. That's not even for college in general. That's for every single class.
True. Yeah.
What professor takes liability for how well you do? None of them. None of them take liability for what you do. Like in comparison to like even the thing about high school, like those teachers like on a scale like times 10 care about how well you did versus college where they don't give a single F on how you did at all, right? They don't even,
most college
no one talks to you.
Anyway.
No one talks to you. No one tells you anything. Like they literally don't give an F. It's because there's too many people, right? Like that's like the general issue. There's too many people to deal with.
Also,
but it's also like, yo, we're paying so much money. Why isn't there that care? You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm paying $40,000 a year, that deserves some kind of something, dude. That's something. I don't know, dude. Why are we paying that much then?
Yeah, and then also I think most of these like people like who teach like classes in like universities, right? Like they're professors, right? And then like first like they already have like too many like people to like handle, right? Like each class in average they have like at least like 100 students, right? One, and then like on top of that, like these are professors, like they do like if I mean like I don't know about like other departments, but like as far as like engineering goes, like these people, like these professors, they're always doing research for like some companies or like some I don't know, like something, right? And what they do is like they put more time on their research, like they're more focused and they want to put more time and like effort doing their research for like these like companies, right? So that like they can get like more funding next semester or next year, right? Yeah, and instead of like teaching like it, they pretty much like not all, but like most of the professors, like they put the teaching and like making like students like understand the material like responsibility like on their like TAs.
On the TA, like, hey, they put on the TA, exactly.
Yeah, they're like TAs, you got this. Let me do some research. And even research, like dude, even research, they don't do it. They hire other TAs, right?
Yeah, and they just have like
Hi guys, we back. My phone died.
Oh, we back. Oh, I didn't know that.
We back.
I thought we've been back the entire time.
Yo, legit.
Like my fucking phone died. Which is my webcam for 90%.
Hey, dude, I was about to say some legit stuff earlier, and I can't remember.
Something about school. We're talking about school.
What were we talking about?
School.
Oh yeah, about the professors, dude.
Yeah.
About the professor and the university. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. So like I was saying, right? So like these professors, like they put in like most of their like time on like research. And they just like like most of the professors, like most of the teaching responsibilities, like they just like give them to like their like TAs. You know what I'm saying? Like the PhD and like master's students, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, it's. Dude, that's one more fundamental problem, dude. It's like, why the F do I pay so much money where I'm in classes where they don't teach you shit and you have to just learn shit by yourself? Like, what the fuck is the point when they could literally just put up the curriculum online and I can learn by myself anyway? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, like, what the F is the reason I'm paying so much money for that shit? You know what I'm saying?
So I,
like, what
and then right now, Zoom is so legit right now because that's legit. Do it at my own pace, get whenever I want.
And then like most of the professors are like that. So like when you get your PhD and like you like start teaching in like a university, right? Like you start at like a really like lower level, like you're like an associate lecturer or whatnot, and then you become a lecturer, then you're like associate professor, then you become like assistant professor, then you become professor, right? Then like when you get up top at like this like professor level, that then when you like are like actually doing big research, what I have noticed is like people like who are like doing like research, like who are like up top, right? Like as an actual like legit professor who spends like ton of time like doing research. Yeah, they don't like really care about like the class and the students, but the ones who are like starting out the lecturer levels, professors, right? Like they don't do a lot of research and they don't have like a lot of TAs under them. So like they actually like put in time, right? And what I noticed is like when they put in time, like it's actually good. Like they actually are teaching stuff, right?
That makes sense, dude. It's like, if you put in time into anything, you care about it like 10 times more. Like if you're literally creating, like, so like some of these associate professors, they're literally creating the curriculum.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And then like,
so yeah.
And then like the associate professors and like what do you call it? Like the assistant professors and like the lecturers, like they're actually doing like a good job, like not just a good job, like way better job. Like teaching people, right, and teaching students than like the professors like who are like high up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, I also think about like how the junior professors are literally hands on with everything when it comes to like building curriculum, to like actually talking with students, to like, even if they are doing minimum amount of research but they don't have TAs, that means you have a small group.
Exactly.
And like you actually give a fuck. Like you're actually talking to them, like you're dealing with them, like if not daily, at least like on a weekly basis. But then once you're higher up, you have like so many more students. You have, I mean, it's also, you can just give shit away. Like you'd be like, hey, you do this, you do that, and I can just chill here.
Exactly. And dude, and then like I actually have like an experience, right? Like I worked as like an undergraduate researcher for this like professor. Like we used to like receive like research money from like these companies, right? And it was like a big team, like him and like other professors and like I don't know, like more than like 15 like TAs were like doing research for this little group, right? And what I noticed is like I was doing research for this guy, and I was also like taking a class taught by this guy, right? So I'm under this professor doing research for this guy, and I was like also taking his class. And like, dude, I went to his class, like one thing I noticed was like, dude, this man just didn't care about like time, you know what I'm saying? Dude, this man used to like get to like come to lectures like 20 minutes late sometimes. Like we all get in there, like this man's like nowhere, like everyone's like waiting for this man, right? The class is like 15 minutes long, like half of the time is already gone, and this man's not just like, this man's literally like goofing around, you know what I'm saying? And then he shows up, and and then like this guy was like that for like a long time. Like it's not like once or twice, it's like multiple times. Like I was like, dude, like this guy's supposed to be like a professor. He's supposed to like teach people what like being responsible is, right? And like showing like in time and stuff. But like he's like doing complete opposite. Like I was like, and I'm doing research, and I'm doing like research for this guy. So I was like thinking, so you telling me that I can like goof around on this research project as well, like, right. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you can goof around, right? Yeah. So that's what like I'm supposed to learn from you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the issue with like these universities being for profit.
Yeah.
Like in reality, they don't give a F about anything, dude. And one, they just care about their school ranking. Two, they just care about how many grants they're getting for research. And three, they just care about how much money they're raking in, dude. Those three
that's
things.
Yep.
Dude, that's all they care about.
Legit. Just
Yeah, that's true.
Man.
And
just
that's why they just keep making the curriculum harder and teaching less, dude. Like at the end of the day, that's all they're doing, dude. They're teaching you less, they're making it harder, and they're just taking more money. That's how you get your rank higher, dude.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Fuck
dude,
capitalism.
and then like I remember like some of the students like back in U of I, right? I think it was back in like 2018. Like we were like talking to this professor. We were like, hey, like why are these like exams like so hard? Like you guys like teach, like for example, I'll give you like an example, right? So then like in the class, right? These are the things like they teach, like the easy examples, right? It's like, hey, so like we have A, B, and C, right?
Yeah.
B is bigger than A. C is bigger than B. That means with transitive property, right? Yeah. C is bigger than A. I'm like, okay, sounds pretty simple.
Cool.
Like,
Cool.
That's that, right? Like it's easy, and they move on to next topic, right? They teach like easy examples, and then when you walk into the exam, right? And this was the exam. I still remember, right? So they're like, hey, so there's a function h of x, and they h of x equals something, right? Like some, I don't know, some weird ass equation, right? And g of x equals some weird like stupid looking like equation, right? And then like they're like, Now your job is to show a transitive property exists between these two equations, right? I'm like, hey, I almost got like 0 points on that question. I'm like, dude, there are two things. Don't you need three things to have like transitive property? Like, what's going on out here, right?
Yeah.
And then like, I think like I skipped that question. I still remember it. I skipped that question, and then like I did everything I could, right? And then like I probably like came back to that question and like made some bullshit my way through, right? And then lost like hella points, and then like later like after like they put the answer, it made no sense. I went to a TA. I'm like, hey, so like,
what is this?
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is going on, right? So like, if there's transitive property going on, there has to be three things. You're just giving me h of x and f of x. Like, what's going on, right? And the TA, dude, I'm not making this up. Even the TA didn't like remember the answer. He had to like pull up his phone. He looks at the answer. He's like, oh yeah, I remember now, right? And he goes, then dude, this was like the most bullshit answer I've ever seen in my life. And he goes, the first line in the answer is like, assume that there's another function h of x. I'm like, you are like literally making stuff up.
Yo, there's an h of x and an f of x, and assume another h of x. Oh my god!
Yeah, dude.
Assume another whole ass equation.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much. I don't remember like f of x or h of x, g of x, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty much saying like, assume that there's like one extra thing.
Yeah, there's
I'm like, dude, like, how am I supposed to assume that like the question didn't say, right? And then like they're like, so if and then they do the proof and they get the answer. I'm like, dude, like, this is like some like legit like voodoo shit out here. You know what I'm saying? You're making stuff up right now. Like, how am I supposed to know I'm allowed to assume things?
Dude, no, legit. I think
it's like literally saying like create something that's not there.
Legit.
Given to you by the question and just like do it. I'm like, what?
Legit. No, like before college, there's never a question where I had zero idea on like what I'm supposed to do. Like at least I knew how to get started. I was like, all right, this is like at least I can get halfway through. College, dead ass. There's some questions that are like x equals 1, y equals 2. How many blueberries exist in a bucket?
Yeah, I know, dude.
Like what the fuck? Like what? I don't even know how to attempt to solve this. Like it's crazy.
Dude, it's crazy because like, yeah, you know how like we're used to like, okay, like you see the types of problems on the homework, and those types of problems will be on the exam. Dude, that doesn't happen, dude.
Yeah,
yep,
dude,
no.
Dude, the exam problems are probably like 100 times harder. And then you're like, and then their excuse is like, hey, you're applying your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You're applying what you learned to the more advanced problem, right? But in reality, dude, then why the F don't they give us advanced problems for homework? So then we can think in that direction. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that though. They do that specifically so you won't know how to do it, and the scores are gonna be low. That's
the
that's
average. Like they want the average to be low. Yeah.
They want the average to be low. That's
low,
the
and
point,
then like
look like their school's harder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Like that's exactly what like I was about to say. And like one time, like we were like questioning this professor. We were like, why is this like? So after that transitive property question, right? We went to the professor. Like, what is this? This is some bullshit. Like you're literally making stuff up, right? Why? Why do you not like put these kind of problems in the homework so we know how to like make stuff up, right? And then this professor was, dude, and this professor was like, yeah, so like if we make like everything easy, school's like ranking, it's gonna like, it's his words, like school ranking, it's gonna go down. We don't want it to go down, so like we have to make exams and like all this stuff like harder. I'm like, that makes no sense.
They have to make the average GPA lower. That's literally what they do.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, hey man, we could go. It's a completely different topic where we say like, fuck school, basically.
It's like, dude, they're gaming the system, dude. That's all it is. It's not actually about education. It's about their reputation. That's all they care about, you know? And it's like, that's not the fundamental of what school should be. You know what I'm saying? That's why the whole university system doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But people are still gonna go because that's like the only option right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because like if you don't have that like, what do you call it, like diploma or like certificate that says, hey, you graduated like with whatever degree, right? You're not gonna get the job.
Dude, there's that barrier right now. Like literally with anything, there's that barrier. Versus, I honestly don't. Since there's no other option, I can't think of like an option which would like solve this issue of like it would need to be some kind of non-for-profit where you're going there, like say a university, but it wouldn't be a university anymore, right? But like university that's non-for-profit that actually like cares about your education. Like that would be something amazing, right? That's life-changing, dude. Like that doesn't exist right now.
Yeah.
No, but then
also it's like, dude, college as a whole is it's literally a gamble when you actually break it down. It's like, okay, you're spending all this money there. You may not get a job. You may not get any experience while you're in school. You may or you may not even pass your courses. Like, and it's like,
dude,
it's I mean, yeah,
dude. As we're going, the return on investment's lower and lower.
Exactly.
Like so like what the U.S. says is like, oh, like more and more people are getting educated, right? More and more people are getting like higher education. But what ends up happening is that higher education is saturated, right? So now the floor is higher education, right? So just to get in, just to break into the market, you need to have a diploma, right? If you don't have a diploma, basically like you're useless, right? You can't get any kind of high paying job without that diploma. And so now the floor is the diploma, right? And then now you have to compete with everyone with a diploma. And it's like, dude, what was the point, right? Why don't we all just start with not having a diploma then, right? Like all they did is they just raised the floor, but now the floor is the same thing, right? Everyone's competing at the same level again. You know, it really didn't remove anyone from the situation. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind it's kind of like, so for example, like if there are like 10 people and like 5 people are like getting minimum like wage job and like other people are like getting like really high paying job, right? If they have like high paying job and like 5 people have like low like minimum wage job, it's pretty much like increasing like everyone's wage by like $2. You know what I'm saying? It changes nothing.
Yeah. It changes nothing, dude. It doesn't. It moves. Like, dude. It's like when the professor says he's removing one question. You know what I'm saying? No one at the end of the day, no one cares because all that does is it moves the median, dude. When you move the median, the upper, like the people who are getting A's still get A's, dude. It doesn't freaking change anything, dude. Like what you want is your score to be boosted, right? You want to be boosted up by putting in an investment, right? Like, dude, it's like, what is that, dude? I don't want the median to be shifted. Like, I don't care about everyone.
Yeah, it changes nothing.
Points, dude. Yeah, it's like that doesn't change anything.
Facts. It's almost dude. Like, to kind of, I guess, put it in even like a rap perspective, it's like to the base level is you have to have cash, you have to have the girls, you have to have the bling, like in a music video, like you have to have like the rap lifestyle shit going on.
Yeah, it's like yeah. So
or like basketball. Imagine like you just have to be able to dribble a basketball. You have to like
imagine like any other like like imagine being a rapper and just to get in the rap game you have to like be able to rent out a mansion. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That means like only like a certain group like actually benefits. You know what I'm saying? Like in our case, like no one's benefiting out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude, and then like in terms of like people like spending like a lot of money like getting that college degree, right? Like I think it all comes down to like the system, right? Like it's all about like they're just like trying to like move the money. You know what I'm saying? Like so like for example, right? So one kid like after high school, like he decides to become an engineer, right? So all he needs is like some physics classes, some math classes, and engineering classes, right? But they force him to like, but they force him or her like to they force the student to like take all these like classes that has nothing to do with their like degree or like career, right?
Exactly.
Like all like the gen eds.
Yeah.
And then like they're like asking a lot of money for the gen ed classes, right? It's pretty much like keeping the money in the loop and just like keeping the economy alive, I guess. I don't know. Like dude, that's one like, another reason I think. Yeah,
it's basically like once you're in the system now, it's like they squeeze all the money out of you once you're there, right? So it's like okay, you're starting to be a computer engineer, right? Only thing you need to take are math, physics, ECE classes, right? That's basically it, right? But in reality, like, what they add on is like, oh, you need to take a class in like another engineering.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, dude, why do I need a class in another engineering? I'm not that engineering.
Right? I know.
What the F did that do for me? I took like statics for civil engineering.
Yeah.
It's like, what the F? When the F would I ever use that in my life? Never. Exactly. I'm never going to use it again, right? Yeah, I'm not a civil engineer, right? And then dude, I took like, go ahead.
Yeah, dude. Even if you like have to use it at some point, you like by that point, you pretty much will forget everything you have learned in that one
legit,
class.
Exactly. It's like, dude, I learned it. I forgot like the week after I took that final, dude. Right. What even saying like, say I use it 10 years down the line. I was like, yo, I took a class 10 years ago on this. Yeah. But I literally forgot it the week after. Like I'm never going to use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, also like even going into college, like it's like a lot of people. I know, like for me especially, I was like, I want to go into aerospace. Like out of college or out of high school, I was like, yeah, dude, that's what I want. But in reality, I don't know what the fuck aerospace was. So once I got there, I was like, all right, like the job, there's no, like my job opportunities are super limited. Like it's all theoretical. I don't enjoy it being all theoretical. And so then I had to switch. And that gave me like, now I have to stay an extra semester, which means like I'm paying them for another semester that I didn't need to.
Exactly.
So it's like, and then also if you try to get like your master's or something, like I know for CS and like Comp E and stuff, we don't necessarily need a master's. But if you're graduating with an undergrad that almost requires a master's degree, like if you want to do like psychology or something, like you're stuck there for what, like at least a year, or in some cases like 2-3 years. So it's like,
dude, I mean
that cycle for like 7 years, and then that's like excluding you in med school. Med school is fucking ridiculous. Law school is ridiculous. Like, but yeah,
exactly. Dude. Yeah, dude. Like,
I don't know, dude.
Not just like universities. Like, if I look at it, right, like I'm like noticing and seeing a lot of things. Like, it's everything. Like, it's all about money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
dude, capitalism.
Dude, money like controls like a lot of things. Like, like people just don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, right? Like, I'll give you an example, right? It has to do with like soccer, right? So like I watch like Premier League, right? Like in England. So like this is one example, right? So these clubs, like what they've been doing recently is like, let's say a manager likes a player, right? He wants to buy that player, right? Yeah. So he goes to he goes to the club, right? And they're like, hey, I want this player. Like buy this guy. Like if you give me this player, right? Like my team will like get much better and like we'll be able to like go for the title, fight for the title, whatever, right? But what ends up happening is like these people on the board, right? These people on the board, they don't care about the game, and like most of these people who are like controlling the board, like they have no clue like what soccer is all about. These are all like business people. They all see everything in terms of money. You know what I'm saying? And what they do is like they find like, so they want this manager wants player A, but they find some other player who's like 20 million like cheaper, the cheaper than like the player like the manager wants. And like I'm talking about like Chelsea, right? So this actually happened in this club, and then like the board like gets this player without even like asking the manager. Manager is shocked that this player is like in his team. And then like and then the board's like, hey, so we have a player, we couldn't get you that player, but work with this guy. Hopefully like you'll like him, and just here it is. And they just save like 20 million.
They
say
act like they act like they tried, but in reality they never tried.
And then like they use that extra 20 million, and then they put in for like, I don't know, like to like make new stadium or like something. Like they don't like care about the game. Like they don't care about winning. You know what I'm saying? They don't like care about like what like fans are thinking, what fans want, what manager wants, or like what the other player wants. They just want to
what's cheap.
They just want to like save money, save money, buy cheap players, and then generate revenues and like build like new stadiums. Like they're like completely like business minded. Like they don't care about the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy to me, dude. It's like there's a point where like what are we even paying for at some point? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
it's like at the end of the day, you need to pay for like the product, right? And that's why I have like high respect for like companies that do make like quality products, you know, just based off of like, hey, like our product is quality, you know what I'm saying? And that's one reason why I really like Apple, right?
Yeah, I was about to say,
because like, yo, Apple plays that like 100%. It's like they legit care about quality. And at least when Steve Jobs was there, like I'm sure that like he would stay up at night thinking about like, hey, like how could I improve this design to be like perfect? You know what I'm saying? And like that at least that strive to like that perfect user experience. That's what he wanted. And that's what a lot of people are enjoying like right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I value that so much. And dude, yeah, I'll pay $1,000 for an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that I know that they like actually care about like how well this iPhone looks. Even though like I'm annoyed by like, oh, you can't download third-party apps. Oh, you can't like what is it called? There's still a freaking notch on the phone, right? But at the end of the day, I know that this thing won't break for like freaking like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I know for 5 years I won't even have an issue with this issue. You know what I'm saying? And that's what value brings. But versus dude, college, I'm paying 40 times that every year, dude. And there's no guarantee about anything.
Exactly, dude.
Even though they tell you they teach you stuff, yo, they don't teach you anything. You have to learn that by yourself by reading the book, dude.
Like, dude, not even that, dude. Like in the real world, like my internship right now, what I'm doing in my internship, I haven't even touched at school, right? And I'm about to graduate. Like I'm dead ass about to graduate. I haven't touched that shit in school. So it's like, what am I at the end of the day? What am I paying for? Like, sure, it gave me like the building blocks or whatever the F you want to call it, where like I'm comfortable coding, but it's like I much rather just go right to internship right after high school, just learn there, and then I'd probably pick up more, honestly. Like say I did like over the past 4 years, if I just had internships back to back to back to back, I would probably end up learning. Either I would learn a lot more, and at the same time, I would know exactly what I want to do.
Exactly.
Like yeah.
Dude, and then like talking about internships, right? Like like I gotta say about this internships, man. Like when I went to like a career fair, right?
Yeah.
And then like I never had like any internships in the beginning, right? So I'm like trying to find my first internship, and this recruiter goes, "Do you have any like experience?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't have any experience. That's why I'm looking for an internship, right?" Like I'm like, "Dude, like, do you not have common sense right now?" I'm like,
"Yeah, legit,
dude, it's F, dude. Like, so you know how we were just talking about like, hey, like they make you take other classes and ish. Like I made that one video about like, hey, what college is really for and whatever. And there's like one comment saying like, yo, I disagree. I think those classes that are not required are the most important. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. And besides that, I just wanted to say that real quick. I don't know. That just came across my brain. Besides that, dude, that's what I was saying. Like from the get go, is like what college is for is you take 4 years. You basically have like a ton of shit to do, but it's also 4 years of time to figure out what the F you want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and if you don't figure that out, you're kind of effed. Because then you're like, hey, like, what do I actually do? So you have to like use it very wisely. Like, all right, these are 4 years where I got to like train myself in what I want to do, right?
Exactly.
So it's like for me, like I never even took one web development class in college, right? I had to basically just sit down in my room, start building websites, and just do that myself. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't do that myself, I would have never gotten an internship, and I would have never gotten a job right after. Right? So it's like I had to put in my own work to like get to that point. Versus like other people, maybe they don't even know that. Maybe they just think like, hey, like I'll just do my college work and like that'll be enough. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, that's not enough, actually. You know what I'm saying?
No, see, also like even a larger portion, it's like for me, for example, like I knew going into it, I was like, all right, I'm trying to get into the social media shit, trying to do all this media shit. Right? I was doing that throughout college, still obviously doing it. But then it's like I know like friends that are like in like CS or Compy, they might even have jobs now. But they're like, hey bro, like I don't know if I see myself doing this in the long run. It's like, I don't know if I truly enjoy this shit. So it's like you went through all that 4 years. You even landed a job. So it's like at the end of the day, you're doing it for the paycheck, but like, do you truly enjoy it? Like, there's so many people out there like that. They're literally doing it.
They're just doing it just for the paycheck.
Exactly. Like, you're trying to pay for college with the job, but like,
legit, and it's a job you don't want, dude. That's such a
work.
That's what Gary Vee was saying, dude. He's just like, there's so many people, like, they're just working a job they don't like for like 130,000.
Yeah.
But what they don't do is like they don't pursue what they want to make like 90,000, and they won't make that conversion, right? So like, say you live in like a 2-bedroom apartment right now, right? And you're making like 130,000. They don't want to downsize to like a 1-bedroom and make 90 to do what they want, every day. Dude, that's like that's such a crazy thing that people don't think through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also,
dude, and then like,
you don't even consider like, if you have your own business that you truly enjoy, not only would you wake up every day just loving what you do, but it also, in terms of taxes, like, if you actually work a real job, half that shit goes away to government. Whereas if you have your own business, there's like loopholes and shit that you can make where it's not, you're still going to give away a lot of it, but it's not going to be a half of it, So it's like, if you have say like 160K paying job, you're only going to end up keeping like 80K. Whereas if you have like a 90K job, you're still going to, or 90K, if you're making 90K a year from your business, you could potentially be keeping like 70 to 80K of it, which is like,
I mean, it depends on how much you reinvest.
Yeah.
But
But, and then like, wait, I was about to say something. Wait, I forgot what I was about to say.
Think about it.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Wait, it came back. So like, wait, I was saying like, so if you do like, so if you get a job, right, that you don't actually like, right, and like you don't like putting like, so like if you're just like working like just for the paycheck, right, just to get like that money like every 2 weeks or something, dude, like you won't like put in like your effort like 100%. You'll end up like half-assing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then like why do you think like different problems and bugs and whatnot, and then like people like cutting corners and shit, like you remember that 737 Max like crashes, like in Boeing, like why do you think like shit like that happens? It's because like people just don't care about like what they're doing.
It's oversight. It's oversight.
Yeah,
legit, dude. It's crazy because like, you do something every day that you don't like. Is insane, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Straight up, no, actually though,
it's legit crazy. It's like, dude, you want to live your whole life. Also, like, the main thing is that like, dude, like, say like maybe 85% of people in reality, they don't actually need to just work for the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the guys, tech lead or whatever, I was bringing him up. He had such a great point, dude. In reality, dude, like 85% of us, like, we can just move back. Like, I'm not saying like everyone has this luxury. We can just move back with our parents and just fucking live on their food and just do absolutely jack shit all day and survive. You know what I'm saying? No one's actually living paycheck to paycheck, like, for at least like a middle class person, right?
Yeah.
Even like a lower class person, they can go and live with their parents and it won't be like that much of a financial burden. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically for almost anyone, right? And like what we think is that like, oh, it's like such an adult thing to like go and like get your own job and do whatever, right? But in reality, what you should be doing is like taking time and like figure out, okay, like I really want to do this. All right, let me set out, go do this, make money doing that, right? Versus what we think is like, oh, we just need to get any job, get out of the house as fast as possible and just live on our own. And that's like, that's awesome, right? In reality, that's not awesome because you're not actually doing what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, not even that. It's like, I think this is one point that Gary Vee always makes that's like almost perfect. It's like, say you're like 25 and like you're just starting whatever it is you want to do. Even if it takes 5 years and it fails, it's like you're still just 30. Like 30 is young.
Exactly.
Like, bro, you could like, at 30 you could legit do whatever the fuck else you want to do. Like Gary Vee was talking about how like at 25 he was just like stocking shelves and shit. Like he wasn't doing anything, but now he's obviously like Gary Vee, he's a multimillionaire and shit. But it's like all that.
He always says that.
What?
He always says that. Yeah. I was stocking wine. Yeah, we got it. He stocked wine. Like we get it, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, like, but like, I mean, that's like the one thing that like that I'm like, all right, yeah, no, that's just like, even though he repeats it every other video, it's like that's actually
he had a valid point. Yeah,
it's like you're so young. It's like like say like everything fails up till you're like 30. Maybe like once you turn 31, you're gonna find something that's like blows up. So it's like
you'll figure it out.
You don't have to. You don't have to be like, nah, I have a paycheck now. Like what?
It's
like
it's that honestly, persistence, dude.
If you gave me $100K right now, half of it is probably gonna be on some bullshit. I'm gonna spend it on some. Like like I'm not like like 50K of it might be like actually smart financial choices, but another 50K is gonna be like shoes. I'm gonna fuck around, snag a crib, buy a whip, buy a rollie, but it's gonna be like dumbass shit. Like there's not like I don't need 100K right now. Like like exactly. I like I mean
but that's the point, right? It's like where no one's living for like no one's like needs to work for survival. You know, a lot of people nowadays, right? Exactly. It's obviously a lot of people like maybe they have like a single parent household that parents work in, right? Like okay, that's a special situation, but there's so many people who aren't in that situation.
Yeah.
It's just like like just figure out what you want to do, dude. Like you don't need to just like 100%. Do whatever and just leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what like society has built in. It's like, oh, if you like still live with your parents and whatever, like you're a straight loser and whatever. And like somewhat like even inside me as I say that, like I'm like, oh dang, like I kind of agree with that though, right? Like even inside of, but it's just like, wait, that's not the truth though, right? If I'm taking time and figuring out like, hey, this is what I actually want to do, then I should just do that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of working like, okay, say like if I got a degree in like something else that I didn't want to do, like say if I got it in like a different engineering, like I got a mechanical engineering and I go get a mechanical engineering job and I don't like that. And in reality, I want to like go code. Then I should like just take time. I should take like a year off, grind on my code, get really good, and then just go follow that passion. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people won't do that because they have too much pride and they're like, hey, like I can't leave my job, this and that. I can't go move back in with my parents. It's like there's all that pride there of like, oh, like I didn't want to show people I failed. But in reality, it's like who cares? Who cares about that? You know, you should just do what you want to do.
Yeah. I think that kind of stuff like just happens because like people think too much about like what other people think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, legit.
Side shit. Like I know, Lil Baby had a really fire tweet. He tweeted something like, what do you say? He's like, if you don't have money right now, but you're working towards it, that doesn't mean you're broke. That means you're like on the path to getting your shit together. Like I was like, dude, that's like perfect. It's like, if you have to move back and in order to pursue something, like you're not a loser for doing that. And in fact, that probably makes you like the greatest winner because you actually know what the fuck you want to do. Like most people are like just like grinding on shit that they don't enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Legit, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. Yeah, like, it goes back to that.
I have friends who like when I tell them about the podcast and tell them about like my internship and like I tell them about like, oh yeah, my internship's lit. Like I'm working on like some React shit on like code on applications. Like I'm enjoying it and I'm talking about my podcast. They're like, oh fuck. Yeah, bro. I'm like I just got this job. I don't know if I enjoy it all the way. Like I'm like, bro, dip out. Or like I mean I understand too, you can't dip out. It's like easier said than done. But it's like, are you like actually putting an effort into finding something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And like let me like go back and like talk about money stuff, and then like it's like I'm gonna go back and talk about that soccer stuff again, right, dude? One thing, dude. Like I just remember like I was talking about like the board like making decisions like not like just controlling the money and just like giving like bad players to like managers. Dude, this happened one time, dude. And dude, it was so funny. This manager was just like legit confused. So like what happened was like in a transfer, like in the transfer window, dude, we had like 3 strikers, right? 2 of them were like injured, and like we only had 1 guy. And like on the press conference, right, like pre-game like press conference, like this manager says like, oh yeah, these are the players that are going to be like playing tomorrow, right? And this one guy's like, hey, is this striker going to play? And he's like, yeah, he's my team, he will start the game tomorrow, right? Dude, what happened like that same night, like without like talking to the manager, the board like sold the striker, right? So then next game, like, they had no striker. And then like that coach just like looked like a fool in front of the media the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's no freaking striker.
Yeah, dude. Exactly, dude. Like when it comes to money, people just do whatever they want. Like these days.
Dude, even like grand scheme freaking America, bro, with Corona, it's like they refuse to shut shit down, and now Corona's still like a thing. Whereas places like Japan, China, when they just shut everything down. It's almost like Corona never existed.
Japan never shut down.
Yeah, Japan legit never shut down.
Just wore a mask, dude.
Exactly.
They're way too legit, dude.
Exactly. No, it's like they were legit just smart. They were like, hey, let's just not be dumbasses. Like, fucking just wear a mask.
No, dude. It's so much more of like how society works in America, dude. That's the main flaw. It's like, dude, Americans don't give an F, dude.
Oh, dude, people
you
don't
can tell them whatever the F you want.
Yeah.
And it's also the part that like no one freaking enforces anything. Like in the South, apparently, so many Walmart employees were getting attacked for telling people to wear masks that they stopped even telling people to wear masks in the South. They don't even say it anymore. Like here, like when I go to Walmart, like there's a lady that says, "Hey, wear your mask real quick." Right?
Yeah.
But in the South, they got rid of that person because apparently those people were getting attacked by people.
What?
So it's like, dude, it's such like such a societal thing. It's like people who believe shit here, like they believe it 1,000%, and they don't give an F about anyone else, and they won't follow any of the rules. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No one follows rules here. Versus
it's also
literally
like
anywhere else, they at least have respect for like other human beings, and they'll like be like, hey, I at least respect like another human being, and I want them to live. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna wear my mask real quick. But here they don't care.
Yeah,
like,
they don't care.
Coronavirus doesn't spread, dude. It doesn't spread, dude.
Dude, coronavirus isn't real.
Dude, it's a conspiracy, dude.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Dude, people just like don't or like can't see things from like other people's perspective.
They reject it. They reject it. Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, dude. This is a completely different topic, but it's like the legit protest for not wearing a mask, but then hate, and then they bring up Corona when Black Lives Matter protests are happening. Like, that's how you know that, like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Like, they don't care about people at the end of the day.
Legit, dude. It doesn't make sense, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, man. It's insane, dude.
Hey.
Yeah, it's like I always go back to this example. It's like one of my professors in discrete math would always say this is like everyone has their own model of the world based on like certain facts, right? Like for me, like I know my keyboard is black, you know, like my phone case is green, right? Stuff like that, right? And so like every time someone comes across like a new piece of information, right? So like say I come across like a new piece of information that my phone case is red, right? Now I have to make a decision in my brain, like, hey, do I accept that new piece of information or do I reject it real quick, right? And so now, like in this case, like I would look back at my phone and be like, hey, nah, this is green. F that new piece of information that came into my brain, right? But what people do nowadays is like, hey, like they get this new piece of information, right? Saying like, oh, Black Lives Matter, right? Like say they get that, right? And now they have this picture in their head, like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Like, wait, doesn't everyone's life matter real quick? Right? And then now they're pushing that all lives matter ish, right? It's because they take that information, they already have like a notion in their mind like, oh, all lives matter, and then they just reject Black Lives Matter real quick. Exactly. When in reality, what their belief is Black Lives Matter, and they won't understand that, right? They won't even take a second to believe it because they'll just instantly reject it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, and then like I think I took like a screenshot, and I think I sent it to you guys like I think it was last week. Do you guys remember like me sending like a screenshot of like people in like Florida like painting like Blue Lives Matter?
Yeah,
exactly. Like that thing's got started. And I heard it's getting bigger now.
Dude, like, see, Blue Lives Matter is so fucking dumb because it's like you're not born a police officer. Like, that's a choice you make. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Like, you don't choose your skin tone,
dude.
Like,
also,
like,
dude. No one said they. The whole point of this argument
that's
is
like,
no one said they didn't. Like,
exactly.
That's literally the whole. Like, it's like, dude, no one understands this. No one gets it. Like, it's like, dude, we're not saying that those lives aren't important. We're not saying that all lives aren't important.
Yeah, dude.
We're saying that for right now, you should say Black Lives Matter because we're trying to push a new narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we're trying to create a societal change, but they don't understand the meaning behind that. They're just saying like, oh, not only Black people's lives matter. Like, what are you saying? Like, dude, that's not what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? This is just like an overarching name for the movement. You know what I'm saying? It's like not actually saying like only Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. It's just like
that, you know?
Also, it's like, dude, there's Black police officers, there's Hispanic police officers, there's Asian police. We know that there's a diversity in the police force. All we're saying is make sure they're not fuckheads. That's legit all it is. And it's like, I mean, dude, here's it. Like, it's so stupid. Like, I mean, we talk about this, like, we talked about it before, but it's like, it's legit. Their point is so dumb. Like, I can't, like, that's all I can say at the end of the day. Like, when we were talking with Josh, like, that episode especially, I was bringing up, like, how, like, that, like, just their argument is so stupid. Like, how can you say, like, dude, like, just fucking pick up a book, bro. Like, what?
Like, that's like another thing, right? It's like the fact that we don't understand it.
Yeah.
We also, in a way, reject it, right? We reject their idea, right? When in reality, what we should be doing, right? So that's what Nitesh was bringing up last time, is like how we're getting like more polarized, right? In our opinions across the U.S. It's like, all right, either you like believe this 100% or like you don't, right? Or like the other way, right? And so there's no one in the middle who's just like, oh, I'm not sure, right? There's no, if you're in the middle, like you get attacked now.
Like,
you're like, hey, you're dumb. Like, if you're in the middle, if you don't have an opinion on this, right? Like, you're dumb, right? Like that's what the consensus is, right? Or if you're in the middle, you're like assumed to be the other side, right?
Right.
And so it's like when we hear their opinion, what we do is we also reject it, right? And in reality, we think we're the woke ones, right? We know what's right. But in reality, it's like, okay, if we also reject what they think, then no one will ever come to a consensus, right? We should both have like a true discussion and a true education on like what each side is talking about.
Exactly. Right? That's exactly like how like a place or like a country gets like more polarized like every day. You know what I'm saying?
And not everyone understands that. Everyone just wants to hop on that bandwagon. It's like they want to cancel people. They want to get rid of people. And it's like, dude, you can't just cancel the whole like half of the country. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and then like
even on that side, I think a lot of it definitely has to do with like education. Of like just kind of, I guess, what it comes down to is like understanding and education, right? So it's like I'm pretty sure there's people there who aren't. They're not necessarily racist, but they just don't know. Like that's totally plausible. Like they don't understand what the movement even is. Like they don't understand what the meaning behind it is. They're just looking at it from like, oh, are you saying that just because that Black lives are better? Like, no, it literally does. That's not even. It just says that they matter. Like, how do you disagree with that? It matters.
And the thing is like no one. the thing is no one's gonna sit down with that person and be like, hey, this is why, right?
Exactly.
Versus like I think like some lady got like killed over saying like all lives matter or something, like she like legitimately like, was shot or something, something crazy, right? And it's like if that type of stuff keeps happening, then what ends up happening is like, oh, like the divide just grows larger and larger and larger. Versus what should be happening is like there should be a discussion, you know, like there should be a discussion on like, okay, how can we agree on some kind of point, right? And then move forward with that, right? And it just won't happen because everyone's just trying to cancel each other, dude. Yo, like this person doesn't believe this. This, like, they'll bring up shit like that happened 30 years ago from like a person, and they'll be like, hey, like this person's done, dude. Like,
dude, and then like
canceled real quick.
That's that, and then like on top of that, like people are just like trying to like present themselves as like as a victim, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like they act like there's like a big ass like victim pile, and then they act like they're on the bottom of that pile. It's like, hey, like I'm being offended, like this guy is like offending me, this group is like offending me, right? And like one group does that, and that's literally like followed by like another group, and like everyone's just trying to like act like a victim, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're
dude, legit. It extends, dude. What I've recently been seeing on TikTok is that like there's these I guess these were just the examples I saw. It's like it was like this African American girl or whatever, like saying like she was like reacting to some like Asian video, and she was like saying like, oh, Ching-a-ling like did this and that, right, and whatever, and making fun of like an Asian person, right? And then that person and then apparently someone on the internet like called her out, being like, hey, that's like racist to Asians, right? And she was just like, hey, like I don't care, blah blah blah, right? And then that person was also supporting like Black Lives Matter and whatever, and then she was like, hey, you should support me on Black Lives Matter. But then it's just like, did you not just get what you just did, right? You just said you don't care about being racist to Asians, but you want people to support you for Black Lives Matter, right? And it's like, in reality, it doesn't matter. You should not be racist to anyone, right? Like that should be like the general rule. And it's like, dude, people like being quote unquote woke, right? They're woke, like believing in Black Lives Matter, but then they'll be racist to someone else, right? And this is what I was like bringing up before, like with the reverse racism. It's like, now it's like, okay, everyone's on Black Lives Matter, and now everyone hates white people. So if like white people do anything, like they're like, oh, why is there a white person in this, dude? I hate white people, right? And it's like basically being reverse racist. You know what I'm saying? Now you're racist towards white people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, you can't just be racist now to white people just because now you're doing Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. You can't just keep doing this kind of stuff. You know, it's like it doesn't make sense. You know, everyone should be treated equally. That's what the goal is.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if you say all lives matter, like that person got killed, but then also in Georgia, a girl refused to stand up for the national anthem, and she got like bullied and shit. Like it's legit on both sides. Like they're both fucking up, and it's like, I feel like at the end of the day, if they just talk to each other, the polar even the polar opposites talk to each other. Obviously, we're like somewhere in the middle where we're like, all right, like you're both fucking being extra as fuck, right? But if like the polar opposites were to talk to each other, they'd be like, okay, yeah, no, we believe in the same thing essentially.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's gonna be obviously some racist people, right? There's definitely some racist
like,
people, but like for the majority, it's like if they just came together, they'd be like, oh, okay, now we actually understand what you're trying to say.
Dude, it's that issue with like woke culture, dude. It's like, if you don't believe in that woke culture, dude, like if you're not all the way woke, like we're gonna kill you, dude. You're gonna die real quick, like if you're not woke real quick. It's dude, that's like being like, hey, if I'm better at you than math, like say there's like a group of people who are like good at math real quick, and it's like, hey, if you're not good at math, you suck. Like you're gonna get removed from the earth real quick, dude. Like that doesn't make sense, dude. If someone's not educated on the topic, you gotta teach them real quick, dude. You can't just remove them from the planet. You know what I'm saying? You can't just fire them from their job and be like, hey, you're gone real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because see what happens with that too is that say you get fired for being racist, that's not gonna stop them from being racist. They're gonna continue legit racist. Like they're if not, they're be
now they're all homeless racists.
Exactly.
Like, oh, that made the world so much better, dude.
Yeah, like
legit.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this is like for majority of people. There's obviously gonna be some who like are set in their ways, and to them, like I guess you just have to.
I mean, there's always those people, right? But the whole point is you can't just remove those people, right? Those people are still human beings at the end of the day, right?
Right.
And then also it's to slowly change the ideologies of these of those people. You know, like the people you can change the mind of, you want to be able to change them instead of forcing some like ideology onto them and being like, hey, you gotta believe this real quick. You know what I'm saying? And then what ends up happening is if you force something down someone's throat, they're gonna reject it. You know, they're gonna pick that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't want anything shoved down their throat real quick, right? And then what'll happen is those people will just go to the other side. Right? No one's shoving them anything down their throat. Right? So,
yeah, exactly. Like that. Like that's like exactly how like people get like polarized more every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then like so like that like talking about this, right? So like if you have like someone like who's politically like who's more on the right versus like who's more on the left, right? And this is just an example, right? So like this left guy says, oh, hey, like this guy is on the right. He's an idiot. He's like a conservative. Like I ain't gotta talk to him, right? So like like you said, right? Like things like that, and you're just gonna like avoid talking to that guy. Like if you do that, and everyone else like keeps following you and like keeps doing what you're doing, like the gap is just gonna be like bigger every day, you know?
Yeah, legit, dude. That little baby line, dude. All black people ain't dumb. All white people ain't racist, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can't apply all everything onto everyone. You know what I'm saying? It's like there can't be so like people are like called racist for applying stereotypes to black people, but then when you apply this stereotype back to white people for being racist, right? Then it's like, okay, that's okay though, right? You can call white people racist real quick. That in reality, that doesn't make any sense, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy, dude.
Education and understanding, bro.
It's crazy, dude. Exactly. I don't know, man. I don't know what
and then like
what to do to solve that, dude.
Also, dude. Also, like I also think like the colleges, right? Like they're known to like teach people stuff, right? And like people like after high school, right? They're like teenagers, like when they get out of high school, right? And then like they're in their like early 20s or like mid 20s by the time like they get out of their like universities, right? And I think like these colleges, like they have to do like better job of like teaching like these like basic things, you know, like for example, like if you go become a doctor or like if you go become an engineer, like you will become an engineer or a doctor, but like everything else, like you'll be like you wouldn't have like enough information or like knowledge about like things about like we just talked about, you know, like they just like put like technical shit in your head and that's it.
Right.
You just become like a technical monkey coming out of college. That's it.
Is that like a college thing to do, or is that even younger? I think that's even more fundamental.
Right? It's no. What I'm saying is like
elementary school.
Dude. Yeah. What I'm saying is like it has to start like as young as possible, right? But by the time you're like you go to college, like it's not like installed inside of you, right? Like the college has to do like at least bare minimum to like make you like aware of like these kind of stuff, right? Don't just like throw like technical shit and just give you like a paper like a diploma and like hey like you graduated like but then like you're like completely lost in the inside, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think a lot of it also has to do with like just real world. Like we grew up in an extremely diverse environment, so that's why we like fuck with everyone. Like we don't like there's no like skin color or anything else, right? Or like sex or anything. So it's like, but then if you grow up say in like the South, like Alabama, like you're just surrounded by a bunch of like conservative white people with like the same mentality. It's like you're gonna grow up to have the same mentality. Like it's a your environment. So,
I mean, it's also like what they'll teach you in your class. You know that leads back to the money again, like we're talking. Dude, even on like the most fundamental level, right? So you can look at like a city, like you can look at like Chicago and then Southside Chicago, like those schools. Like how sucky are those schools, and like what are they actually teaching their students? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And what ends up happening is like that education's so much worse, right? And that's because they got no money. And then there's places like, so say where I live, right? The education system's good, right? You go to a good school, you learn like, and then we're also like in like the Chicago area, right? So then it's gonna be like, okay, like they're gonna teach us like somewhat like a lot of like left values, right? Say that, right? So then you go to Alabama, what they're going to do is that like, okay, everyone there is right leaning, right? So then as you grow up, you're going to have right leaning values, right? Not only in just your parent, like your family, your whole like culture around you is also right leaning, right? So then it's also like, okay, not only in school you're learning that, right? But there's no way to like standardize that across the entire US, right? You can't standardize like a leftist agenda or like a rightist agenda, right? It's almost societal, right? So like where you grow up can change your perspective, right? So if I grew up in Alabama, even if us say all three of us grew up in Alabama, maybe we would be more right.
Right.
Maybe we would have become more right because our parents are almost right? Like we think about our parents, even though they're like Democrats, right? They're Democrats. They have like right-leaning values, right? So maybe our values would have been more right-leaning if we grew up in that Alabama like area, right? We don't know that because we didn't grow up there. But say if we did, maybe those values would have been like that, right? So it's like you can't even standardize that across the U.S. because there'll always be that problem, right? You'll always have that societal like pressure of like, oh, we believe this. If you don't believe that, you're like an outcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like when I was at Iowa State, the guy I was living in my dorm with, like, he was from Nebraska, and I was like the first Indian he had ever met.
Dang.
So like, but I mean, he was cool. Like, he wasn't racist. He wasn't like, he didn't do shit. Like, he was just chill. He was just like, yeah, bro, you're just the first Indian. Like, it was just a fact. Like, he just didn't grow up with Indians around him. So it's like, I mean, that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's definitely environment, but I feel like it's also just like, yeah, society, where you are, where you're from, where your parents are from.
A lot of stuff's not up to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so much of it is like just circumstance, you know?
Yeah, facts.
It's like we judge people so hard on like what they believe, and it's like sometimes they believe that because of like, you know, it's not their fault, you know. It's like it's more of like the US government's fault, you know what I'm saying? It's like you know, it's like something you can't control almost.
Right.
Exactly. It's like it's more complicated than we understand, you know what I'm saying? Like it depends on like a lot of things, like your parents, like how you grew up, your personality, like how you think about stuff, like what have you like gone through like until like that point in your life, right? Like that's like exactly like a lot of things. It's just like you can't just like jump to conclusions. Like you see someone do something, then you can't just like jump to conclusions like in 30 seconds about like that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro. Exactly, dude.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, I think that's one reason why we fuck with like sports and music so much. Because it's like that's one thing you can't deny good music, and you can't deny like dope ass sports shit. Like if you see like a crazy ass dunk, it doesn't matter your skin tone, it doesn't matter anything. You're gonna be like, oh shit, that was sick.
Yeah.
So like, if only we could transfer that.
I mean, even though those skin tones they got melanin, bro. You know what those skin tones look like real quick.
Facts.
So yeah, I don't know, dude. It's such a deeper problem. Yeah. It's such a subliminal problem. Like another good example I saw on TikTok was I'm on TikTok a lot. Is that like living like white privilege is so like unnoticed that it's like living in a being right-handed in like in this world, you know what I'm saying? So there's so much ish in this world that we don't realize. Like Nitesh and I are right. Nina, you're left-handed, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's so much ish that you do. You're just annoyed by it, right? Like using scissors. If you use like a can opener, that ish is like the wrong way for you real quick. Like there's so much random ish that Nene has to deal with that Nitesh and I have never even thought about, dude.
Yeah.
We've never even noticed that even one time because we're right-handed real quick, right?
Exactly.
So that's what it is for like white privilege real quick. That was like such a good example. I was like, oh dang, like there's so much stuff we just do it, but we don't realize that when white people do it, they have even easier time, dude. They've never even thought about that, dude.
Yeah, dude. You know, cause like yeah, dude. Yeah. I think I saw that on Instagram or Twitter or some shit too. But it's crazy. It's like legit, like dude. Even when it comes down to like the way you talk to a cop.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Like, dude, like anytime I have to even be in the presence of a cop, I feel uncomfortable. Yeah, like, that should not be the case. Like,
yeah, legit. Yeah, it's. I think that's like a general immigrant thing too. It's like our parents are immigrants, so they instilled in us like complete fear of cops real quick. Like whenever, like if I ever got a ticket, I would be like so like freaking scared for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like luckily I've never like been like pulled over for like speeding ticket or anything, but like yo, if that happened, like I would be like fucking shaking, dude.
Exactly. Like, dude, and then like talking about this like privilege thing, right? It's like also like when we're like talking about this privilege things, like remember like I talked about like how like people would just want to like be like present themselves as like a victim out there, right? And like I think I talked to like Boris about this like last month or something, like when we were like driving, dude. I was just like looking up online, right? I think, and then like I saw this like I don't remember if it was a video or just like a news article, dude. This girl was like literally claiming like she was just like mad about like how people have like something called thin privilege, you know what I'm saying? I'm like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, and she was literally like complaining about like how she's not thin, and like people who are like who are like more thinner than her have like a lot of like advantages and like stuff like that. I'm like, dude, being thin or like gaining weight, it's you have a choice. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't like, legit,
it's like dude, like if you don't like, it's like if you don't like the way you look, like in terms of your like weight and like how you look, like go run like some miles, you know what I'm saying? Like lose weight, like you have a choice, like stop complaining, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's something so controlled. Like unless you have like a legit disease, like you got a thyroid problem or something, legit everything, dude. Everything outside of that, dude, it's so controllable real quick. Like that's something you should not complain about.
Yeah, and then like that made me think. I'm like, everyone wants to just like present themselves that like they just try to like find something, right? And then they're like, hey, I'm a victim of this. I am like completely victimized. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, stop complaining. You know?
Because I mean, I think everyone wants someone to feel sorry for them.
Everyone wants that sympathy.
Yeah, guys. That's it for this episode of the Neverland Podcast, man. We delved into school system, racism, fucking fake groups.
We need to come up with, one thing we gotta do is we gotta come up with solutions though. We can't just be complaining about the
hey, maybe
we gotta be solution oriented.
Yeah, dude. Next time that the issue's on, we're gonna try to find solutions.
Dude, last critique on society right now. Dude, everyone's got something to complain about. No one's got a solution. Dude.
Exactly, dude.
It's fun. It's so
easy. No, dude.
No one's got a solution.
But that part though is like that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to make like everyone like happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you try to like provide like with answers to like 50 people. Like, dude, believe me, at least like 10 people will be unhappy with like what you like. What you
it doesn't matter. I mean that's the hard part about being a leader, right?
Exactly.
Doesn't matter what decision you make, someone's gonna disagree. That's the hardest part, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And to those people, I just want to be like, just suck it up, princess. You know what I'm saying?
Just go with it, bro. Just go with it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, guys, that was I guess it was a deeper conversation than usual, but it is what it is. But yeah, man. But
hey, don't say that, dude.
What?
Don't say that. It is what it is.
I
disagree with that statement. Real quick.
But no, if you guys are on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Hey, and follow Nitesh. Follow Nitesh on there.
Yeah.
Nitesh, hey, make your channel so then you can start building up some subs.
Exactly, dude. Like, yeah, I definitely will like start my channel like soon. But then like I'll like let you guys know like once it's up and running. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, true. Hey, just pull up on the pod again when you watch.
Oh, true. Yeah.
The big brain episode, real quick.
No, true.
But yeah, man. Asherma210, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Again, I'm gonna start regularly on TikTok. Starting. Oh, by the time this is out, TikTok should be good. Should be up and running. So I'm gonna check that shit out.
Yeah.
True.
Artists, YouTube, TikTok. Oh, that's gonna be linked in bio.
Let's go.
With that, we out of here.
All right. I'll see you guys next time. Out.